What's up guys, over here I have the brand new Nintendo Switch 2, and in this particular video I'm going to be unboxing this thing, showing you everything that comes inside of the box and setting it up all together. Now in addition to this, because I still have my Nintendo OLED over here, we're going to be doing a little bit of comparison, like the screen size and a little bit of other features compared with the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 I have over here. But before we get into all of that, if you actually find this video useful, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and drop a comment in the comment section of this particular video. I'll just go ahead and flip. Then now over here we actually have the red Joy-Cons, as you can see, and then over here we have the Nintendo Switch 2 screen. This is actually an LCD screen compared to the OLED we have over here. It actually comes with a HDMI to HDMI cable. And then we have the Joy-Con straps. Now, just after this compartment, here we have the Joy-Cons holder. Now we have the charging cable over here. It's actually a USB-C charging cable, as you can see. And then here we have the charging brick. And then finally, we actually have the Nintendo Switch 2 docking station. Now, according to Nintendo, this actually comes with a cooling fan that makes it way better than the original Nintendo Switch. Now let's just go ahead and set up this device now that we know everything that comes inside of the box. Now to set it up, first things first, you want to get your Nintendo Switch 2 screen, and at the end over here you can literally see, just for easy identification, both ends of the Nintendo Switch 2 screen are actually painted both blue and red, just for easy identification and for you to be able to attach your Joy-Cons to the Nintendo Switch screen. So first things first, you just want to go ahead and get your Joy-Cons, and over here we have the blue, so I'll just go ahead and attach this to this end. I think it should actually be like this, and then just attach it from over here. Now it snaps just like so. Then you want to do the same thing from over here as well. Now what you just want to do next is to go ahead and power it on. Now before that, I would actually like to compare both screen, that is the Nintendo Switch OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2. And as you can see, the Nintendo Switch 2 is way bigger in size, and even the Joy-Cons are very big as well. The Nintendo Switch 2 is actually a 7.9-inch display, and the Nintendo Switch OLED is actually 7-inch display. So what we want to do first and foremost is to go ahead and power on our Nintendo Switch 2. I think the power button is over here, just like so. And I don't know if you can hear, but it actually plays a sound during the setup process. Now let's just go ahead and continue with the setup process. First things first, you want to go ahead and select your language. In this case, I'll be going with English UK. So press on A to select, and then you want to go ahead and select your country. So in my case, I'll go with the Americas over here. Press on A to select as well. And now you have to agree with the end user license agreement. So you just want to go ahead and click on the accept over here by pressing on A as well. And then just scroll down. You can scroll with this actually, or this as well. So just go ahead and click on the next button over here. And now you have to connect your Nintendo Switch 2 to the internet. So make sure you have your Wi-Fi or your home router turned on, and then you just want to go ahead and click on internet settings. And now to start to search for Wi-Fi network. Make sure your Wi-Fi is turned on. And these are actually all of the available Wi-Fi networks now. I'll go ahead and connect it to my phone's hotspot. Select these, then go ahead and enter your password. And once you're done, you just want to go ahead and click on the OK button over here. Successfully connected. You want to go ahead and press on the OK button at this point to continue with the process. Now you can literally see that we actually need a system update. So what you want to do next is to just click on the next button to update your Nintendo Switch 2 console. Now you want to go ahead and select your time zone. Now this is just a little bit of information on the different modes you can actually play your Nintendo Switch. So I'll just skip this by clicking on the next button over here. And then a little bit more information about the Nintendo Switch 2. So they're actually talking about the stands, and you can literally see this is actually a bigger stand compared to the original Nintendo. So I'll just go ahead and skip all of this process. And now you're asked to detach both Joy-Cons from the Nintendo Switch 2. So what you want to do to detach it, you just want to press and hold these two buttons over here. So to remove the right Joy-Con, you just want to press from the back. So I'm actually pressing from the back, and then you want to remove it just like so. Then you want to do the same thing from over here, press from the back, and then you remove it just like so. Now what you want to do next is to just click on the next button. You can actually open up the stands from over here, place it on your table just like so. And now you can still control your Nintendo Switch 2 using the Joy-Cons even when they are not attached to the screen. So I'll just go ahead and continue with the whole process. And from over here, you just want to go ahead and click on the next button by pressing on A over here. So scroll over to next and then press on A on your Joy-Con. Now, if you want to connect to TV, you can go ahead and connect to TV right away. But for the purpose of this video, we are going to be doing this later. So I'll just scroll down and then click on the next button over here, press on A. And again, they're giving us a little bit of information on how to use the Joy-Con straps, which are actually these two straps over here. So you can actually just attach them to the Joy-Cons to enhance the way you use them. But for now, we are actually going to be skipping this because we're not going to be using them for now. So just scroll down and then click on skip. Now we also have a little bit of information on the different modes we can actually play the Nintendo Switch 2. So I'll just go ahead and press on OK from over here. And now our update is downloading. So just go ahead and give it some few seconds or minutes as the case may be, depending on the speed of your Wi-Fi. And now the update is completed. So what you want to do next is just go ahead and press on the OK button. So I'll just click on A. At this point, you'll be asked whether you want to transfer your data from your original Nintendo Switch to your Nintendo Switch 2. If you actually do want to transfer your data, then you can begin with the transfer system over here. Alternatively, you can actually just continue with the whole process by selecting the Don't Transfer Data over here. So we're just going to set this up assuming you're getting the Nintendo Switch 2 for the first time. So we're just going to click on the Don't Transfer Data over here. I'm probably going to be making a separate tutorial on how to transfer data from the original Nintendo Switch to the Nintendo Switch 2 in a separate video. And I'm also going to leave a link to that in the description of this video. For now, I'll just go ahead and click on the Don't Transfer Data over here and then click on A. Now you want to go ahead and add a user to your Nintendo Switch 2. So I'll click on the next button over here. And now you want to sign into your Nintendo account. If you already have a Nintendo account, then you can click on the sign into a Nintendo account over here. But if you do not have an account, then just go ahead and click on the add user without signing in. You don't have to worry. I'm also going to show you how to create an account in this particular video. So just go ahead and click on the add user without signing in if you do not have an account. Now you want to go ahead and select your user icon. So these are basically different characters you can actually choose from over here. In my case, I'll just go ahead and select this Mario character over here. And then you have to add a name for this character. So I'll just enter the name. Okay, so once you're done, click on the OK button over here. Go ahead and click on the OK button. And you can go ahead and create even more users if you want, but for now we'll just go with this. So just click on the skip button by clicking on A. Now if you actually want to set up parental controls like time usage for the Nintendo Switch, or you actually want to restrict certain kind of content from the Nintendo Switch 2 for your children, then you can go ahead and set up parental controls. But for now, I'll just go ahead and click on the skip button over here. Also, if you actually have your micro SD card, you want to go ahead and put them inside of the micro SD card slot on your Nintendo Switch 2. Now, this is actually where you have to put the micro SD card slot. You can literally see at the bottom of the Nintendo Switch over here. Now, you also have to keep in mind that only two types of micro SD card are actually used or are compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2, and those are the Express and the X. If you do have them, then you can go ahead and attach them. You can just skip this process by just scrolling down and then clicking on the skip option over here. And finally, we have completed the whole setup process. So you want to go ahead and press on the home button on your controllers. Whoa. So basically that is all to setting up your Nintendo Switch 2 for the first time. But again, because we have not created our Nintendo accounts, we cannot do certain things like get into the Nintendo store to download games. So take for instance, if we try to open up the Nintendo store over here, you can literally see once I select my user that I just created, you can literally see that it is asking me to create a Nintendo account or sign into my Nintendo account. At this point, you just want to go ahead and press on the sign in button. Now, what you want to do next is to just scroll down and click on the create a Nintendo account option over here. And then the next thing you want to do is to go ahead and get your mobile phone. Over here is my phone, and I'll just go ahead and open up the camera app on my phone. I'll go ahead and scan the QR code on the Nintendo Switch 2. And then the next thing you want to do at this point is to go ahead and create a Nintendo account. So at the top over here, you can literally see the create a Nintendo account option. Go ahead and select that. And then you want to select if you are for age 13 and above or for age 12 and under. So in my case, it is the 13 and above. And then you can now choose if you want to sign in with your Google account or your Apple account. In my case, I will choose a Google account and then select one of my Google accounts over here. So I'll just go ahead and select this one. Now you want to just click on the continue button, and then you want to proceed to fill up all of the informations over here. So nickname, any nickname you want, and then enter your password as well. You also want to scroll down and then proceed to enter your date of birth as well, and then your country or region, and then you just want to agree to all of the terms and conditions at the bottom, and then just click on submit. And now you want to go ahead and enter the verification code that has been sent to you by Nintendo. So in my case over here, if you scroll down, you can literally see that Nintendo just sent me an email, and you can literally see the verification code here as well. So I'll just go ahead and copy it up and then just go ahead and paste it inside of this verification inputs. Once you're done, click on the confirm button over here. Now what you just want to do next is to just go ahead and click on the OK button. And this is basically my Nintendo account. Now the final step you actually want to take is to come over to your Nintendo Switch 2, and then you just want to go ahead and go back to the previous page by clicking on B. So B is actually to go back to previous page, and then you want to go ahead and sign into your Nintendo Switch now. So you want to come over to your phone one more time, go ahead and open up the camera app on your phone, and then just scan the QR code from this sign-in page, open it up on the browser, preferably the same browser that you actually created your Nintendo account, just like so. And you're now being asked if I actually want to sign this Nintendo account into my Nintendo Switch 2. So I'll just go ahead and select this person, just like so, and you can literally see the verification code over here. Now you want to enter that verification code inside of this input field. So, and then just click on OK. Click on OK. You want to go ahead and click on the link button over here. And just like so, I have successfully signed into my Nintendo account on my Nintendo Switch 2. Now you want to just go ahead and click on the next button over here and then try the sign-in process again. So go ahead and get your mobile phone. And then you also want to come over to the camera app on your phone. Go ahead and scan the QR code over here. Open it up on your browser and then enter your passwords. As soon as I am signed in over here, I will also be signed in on my Nintendo Switch 2 as well. And now that we are actually done with the whole setup process and unboxing process for the Nintendo Switch 2, some of the differences I have actually noticed between the Nintendo Switch OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2. One is actually on the sound. Like the audio quality on the Nintendo Switch 2 is actually way better than the one on the Nintendo OLED. Again, even though the Nintendo Switch 2 actually has an LCD screen, it is way brighter. The color is quite better. I think because of the HDR feature that actually comes with the Nintendo Switch 2. This also comes with a whole lot of interesting feature. For instance, you can see the chat button on the Nintendo Switch 2 over here. The refresh rate is better. The Nintendo Switch 2 actually opens up games way faster than the original Nintendo or the Nintendo Switch OLED. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting tech tips like this one.